Do you stay up at night wondering what Pét-Nat is, Carmela?
Well, I stay up at night, but usually it's not about Pét-Nat. I'm
true.
so sorry.
Are you concerned that Pét-Nat is coming to take over your wine shop?
It probably already has.
Are you afraid of it?
No,
Do you have Pét-Nat insurance?
I don't.
Okay.
Do you?
Maybe we should. Okay, in this episode, we are tasting and reviewing 2 Pét-Nats. And what we're going to tell you is they were both really different.
From each other.
They're both really fun. And Pét-Nat has a reputation. It has a reputation sometimes of being funky, being different, being effervescent. And we'll just say one of these wines was like super crispy, fruity fun. The other one was funky as your old gym socks.
Ooh.
But you got to listen in to find out more.
All right.
Hello, fellow wine lovers, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Woo!
If you're new to our podcast, here's what we do. Every week we buy wines under $25 with our own money, we taste them, and we give you our brutally honest opinion on whether they're worth buying. Nobody pays us to review specific wines. We don't accept free bottles from wineries,
Nope.
and we're not afraid to call out a bad wine when we taste one. And Decanter magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
Chatty,
and entertaining. So if that sounds like your vibe, welcome to our tribe of wine lovers.
I mean, just really straightforward.
Yeah.
Wine lovers.
Yeah, it's just simple this time. I didn't have anybody give me any ideas.
That was you again.
That's
okay.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I should have guessed.
But if you have more ideas for our wine tribe names, please send them in.
Nice.
Yes. But Carmela, this week we're onto one of our very favorite styles of wine that we don't think gets enough respect, and that is sparkling wine.
Oh, come on.
Now, why do we say sparkling wine and not champagne, you ask?
Why do we say sparkling wine and not champagne, I asked?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So if you've listened to our podcast for a while, you know why that is a dangerous question to ask us. But the simple answer is that sparkling wine is the name for the style of wine where the wine has bubbles, seems obvious.
Right.
And champagne is the name for sparkling wine that comes from the Champagne region of France. Maybe not so obvious.
No, maybe not.
So all champagne is sparkling wine, but not all sparkling wine is champagne.
True. But they're all sparkling, and that's what we like.
And that's what matters. But in fact, most sparkling wine is not champagne. According to the interwebs, which you know is never wrong,
Right.
90% of the world's sparkling wine is not champagne.
I imagine.
So when people say they drank champagne, they're probably lying.
Well, true.
You
but
know,
it sounds fancy.
It sounds better
Sometimes
than
people are just
"Eh."
like, that means celebration, like we're having champagne, we're
Yeah.
popping the champagne. That's,
But
I
I'm
know-
such a nerd, I won't say it. I'll just say sparkling
No,
wine.
I know, but because you're speaking truth.
Thank you.
I mean,
speaking the truth.
You're just, you don't ever want to like beat around the bush about
I don't
anything.
want to be a liar.
No, you want it to be very straightforward. This is what it is. Call it like it is.
I'm an honest man.
Right.
That's right. But today we're not talking about just any old sparkling wine. We are talking about the trendy sparkling wine you've probably started seeing a lot of, which is generally capped with a bottle cap or what they call a crown cap.
Right.
And that is the sparkling natural wine called Pét-Nat.
This is going to be really fun.
It is going to I'm already having a lot of fun.
I'm always having a lot of fun, but that just like even brought it up a notch more.
You're ready.
I'm so ready.
Now, if you're wondering, the term Pét-Nat is a French abbreviation for pétillant naturel, which literally translates to naturally sparkling. And the word pétillant itself means, depending on the dictionary you ask, either mildly and slowly effervescing, or slightly sparkling, or having bubbles. Take your pick. You can choose.
It's all the same to me.
It is. It's all sparkling. And while the method of production is ancient, the specific name Pét-Nat is a relatively modern invention, and we're going to talk about that later, Carmela.
All right.
But for a little education on sparkling wine, there are 3 primary ways to produce it. There's the traditional method, or Méthode Champenoise, the tank or Charmat method, and the ancestral method, which, by the way, is the one that Pét-Nat uses. And while there are a few other techniques that exist, these 3 represent the core approaches that are used most globally. So you need to memorize them.
Oof.
They must be memorized. I say it.
Really?
I said so.
Okay.
Okay, so the first is the traditional method, Méthode Champenoise. It's commonly used for things like champagne and cava, and this method is often considered the most complex and the most serious, Carmela.
Oh, wow.
It begins...
I thought wine wasn't serious, honey.
Oh, no, this one is.
Oh.
This one's serious.
Okay.
All the rest are kind of
Seriously?
like, I'm being serious.
Okay.
Okay, now, champagne, or this traditional method, begins with a fully fermented still wine. So it starts out just like a regular old wine.
Wow.
And then the wine is bottled with tirage, which is a fancy word for a little bit more yeast and sugar. They put that into the wine, which triggers a secondary fermentation in the bottle.
Oh.
So something you may not have known.
No.
Now, the carbon dioxide that's produced during the second fermentation is trapped. It's trapped. Like they don't let it out of the bottle. They just
You should just
have
see this guy
it's
right
mean.
now.
It's mean. They just trap it in there and it creates bubbles. And this is a good thing to remember because it's similar to how Pét-Nat is made, but not exactly the
It's kind of
same.
similar to how I feel sometimes.
Trapped and bubbly. There you
All
go.
at the same time.
Exactly.
I mean, a trapped, bubbly person.
That's
it's
not
weird.
so bad. No.
It's kind of a weird.
It's kind of nice.
I'm trapped,
If you're going to
but I'm
trap
so
somebody,
bubbly.
you had a thing where you were the most likely to be trapped in a
No.
in an elevator or something.
No.
The person you wanted to be trapped in an elevator with, which is
Wait,
kind of like
I don't know
having
what
bubbles
you're
trapped
talking
in a
about.
bottle.
That's all
You
wrong.
know what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Most likely to be trapped. That makes me just sound like an idiot.
Well, anyway, let's move on. When using this method, the wine often ages on its lees, which are the dead yeast cells.
It's so gross.
Sometimes, no, it's not gross, but it sounds gross. And they do that for months or years. And this is what makes sometimes that like bready or toasty kind of flavor and smell in the wine. Now, the sediment is eventually removed through riddling and disgorging, which sounds fun, but it's not.
God, it sounds like hazing or something.
Yeah, hey, we're going to get this out.
I'm going to riddle you and
Disgorge you. God, it's horrible. But basically what they do is they turn the bottle upside down. All the junk gets on the bottle cap or whatever.
terrible.
And then they pop it open and all the stuff like floofs out.
Oh my God.
Sounds again dirty, but it's not. And then they top it off with a little bit of wine or sugar in wine or whatever before they cork it.
Oh.
Yeah. When they add a little sugar to it, they call that dosage.
Oh.
So when they put a little sweetness in there,
Pour some sugar on it.
pour some. Now, sometimes they do a zero dosage when they want a really brute.
Oh.
A really brute,
Okay,
which
not
means
sweeten
dry,
it
but
up.
don't. We're going to confuse
Not so
everybody.
sweet.
No, and so then they don't put any sugar in it, but that's when you get a very brute or
Ooh.
extra brute champagne or
Okay.
sparkling wine. Okay, anyway,
It's such a brute.
now that was kind of a lot, but we're just getting started, Carmela.
Woo!
The second method is called the tank method or the Charmat method. It's also known as cuvée close or the Metodo Italiano.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. And it's the primary technique for producing Prosecco and many more affordable and less sophisticated, some people feel that way, less sophisticated sparkling wines, including many from
Some
Germany.
Prosecco fans might not like that.
They may think, hey, it's
What do you
sophisticated
mean?
enough.
Right. If it's sophisticated enough for me,
Yeah.
it should be for everybody else.
I agree.
Wow.
But I didn't say it. I'm just saying what people say.
Well, we don't know who they are, though.
Well, we're going to find out. Anyway, also, a lot of wines in Germany are made that way. And by the way, if you didn't know, they make and drink a lot of sparkling wine in
Right.
Germany. By the way, okay. But like the traditional method, there is a secondary fermentation, but the secondary fermentation takes place in large pressurized stainless steel tanks rather than bottles. Hence the name, the tank method. There you go.
Love it.
And sugar and yeast are added to the base wine within the tank. And once fermentation is complete, the wine is filtered and it's bottled under pressure. So this is a less labor-intensive way of making wine than the Méthode Champenoise.
Not
So-
as aggressive.
not as aggressive.
Right.
And very often I find that these wines are a little bit on the sweeter side.
Okay.
Because they add sugar into that vat and it's usually a little bit sweeter. Now the third one, and the one we care about the most, is called the ancestral method or Méthode Ancestrale or Pét-Nat. And this is actually the oldest known method for producing sparkling wine, dating back to at least the 16th century. We'll talk about that a little bit more too. And so although it seems hip and cool today, it's actually real old. So when the cool kids try and play you and ask you if you know what Pét-Nat is, you now can just stare them down and ask them if they know what the three methods for making sparkling wine are and go yourself.
Wow.
You can say that to
so
them.
Much.
You can
I
say
wouldn't.
that to them.
I wouldn't.
You could say that to
if
them.
it was somebody like me, though, that's so much information. I'd be like, hold on. And I'd try to listen to the podcast and like rewind it. And then I'd just sound like an idiot. You know what I mean?
You don't.
Or
You never sound like an idiot.
I'd have to take out my notes, and be like, okay, so what it is.
Okay, well, here's what you need to know.
Do
you want to know what you really need to know?
We need some.
Well,
like,
there's show notes.
little...
Did you know you have show notes? You can always go to those.
But
They're
is there
like
some
your cheater
bullets?
notes.
Are they just like a few bullet points?
Well, let me finish up with the Pét-Nat method, and then we'll go into that.
Okay.
Unlike the other two methods, the ancestral method involves only one single fermentation. So the wine is bottled before the initial fermentation is finished, meaning the yeast is still alive in the bottle, and then they seal it in there, they seal it up, and they let it continue to work on the sugar.
It's trapped.
And then carbon dioxide that's created in the process of turning sugar into alcohol is naturally trapped as bubbles. It's a trap. It is a trap. And because there's no added sugar or yeast for a second round of fermentation, the wine is typically not filtered and it's not disgorged.
Oh.
And this means the final product is often kind of cloudy. It's got some sediment and it's very unpredictable in style. And a lot of times it can be kind of funky. And that's a topic we're going to cover in a few minutes, Carmela.
Okay.
So simple. You want simple.
Yes.
All right. The simple is this. The champagne method, they ferment it twice, both times in the bottle. In the Charmat method, they ferment it twice, one time in a vat.
Oh,
and in
a tank.
That's right. And in the ancestral or Pét-Nat method, they only ferment it once.
Okay, that's helpful.
They trap it. There you go.
That's
Simple.
helpful.
I could have just said that from the beginning.
I know.
Instead of going through all that jibber jabber.
I mean, that was interesting for sure. But like, if you want to find something, if you want to pull something from your brain box, it's nice to have, a few just easy bullets to pull from.
That's good. That's good. I like it.
That was helpful.
Okay, well, Carmela, now you've got your reminder on how different sparkling wines are made, and you know how Pét-Nat is made, more or less, but we still have more to talk about when it comes to Pét-Nat, like where is it made, and where did it come from, and why are people so charged up about it? Yeah. Some people have a lot of real strong opinions about it. Oh, wow. And I mean, some people are just down on Pét-Nat. So
really? I wonder why. Yeah, I would like to know why.
We're going to dig into that. Okay. And we have 2 Pét-Nat wines that we're drinking and reviewing today to see if either is worth your hard-earned money. But first,
you got to do our shameless plug.
That's right. So thank you for listening to us and for supporting our show. And you should know by now that we buy all of the wine we taste and review every week so that we can give you real and honest reviews. And if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a 5-star rating and review so we can grow listeners. And thanks so much to everybody who's done that. We also love to hear from you. We always respond. You can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at The Wine Pair Podcast. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can sign up for our email newsletter there. And you can send us a note at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com and we'll get back to you.
Nice.
And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should recommend the Wine Pair Podcast to, because the best way for us to grow listeners is when you tell your family and friends about us. And this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who's like, what's the big deal about Pét-Nat anyway?
Right.
Or who poo-poos sparkling wine.
Okay, I like that.
Or who likes natural wine but has never had Pét-Nat because they need to listen to this episode and figure out what they've been missing out on.
I think that's a great idea.
You like that? I had 3. Yeah. Again, 3. You asked me for 3 bullets and I give you 3 people.
It's pretty much like whoever you want to tell.
Yeah.
Basically, when it comes down to it, you don't need to hesitate if you just feel like you want to share.
I agree, but don't you think there's people who are like they're kind of down on sparkling wine or they're kind of down on natural wine. And it's like, this is a great combo.
They get stuck in their ways.
You know what? Don't be stuck on stupid.
Oh.
As your mother would say.
I know.
All right. Carmela, it's time to learn just what the Pét-Nat is, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay. Now, historical records and legends trace the origins of this method to the 16th century in France. Oh. And I did say legends. I bet it's much older than that, though, because, people have been making alcohol for a long time. But this is what the interwebs say. They're rarely wrong, so that's what we're going with.
Okay.
Now, while historians generally say that Benedictine monks at the Abbey of Saint Hilaire in Limoux produced the first sparkling wine using this method in 1531. But as we always say, if you want to find the alcohol, follow the monks.
Right.
They are always making alcohol in Europe.
I love that about them. I mean,
we saw a lot of cloisters when we were in Portugal, and all I could think is, these guys were making wine.
I mean, I figured that was crossing your mind.
And beer too.
Yes.
Okay, wine historians also say the method was likely discovered by accident.
Oh.
And they say perhaps this is how it happened. Wines were often bottled before fermentation was complete, and they did that when the temperatures were cold in the fall and the winter, which would cause the yeast to take a little nap. But then in the spring, when things kind of warmed up a little bit, the yeast would reawaken inside the bottles and create naturally fizzy wines.
They were trapped.
They were trapped.
But they wanted a rebirth.
Yeah, and they were just naturally sparkly.
Oh my gosh.
And so they weren't going to let that trap let them down.
Right.
They were just going to rise above.
It's okay to be trapped.
It is.
Okay.
That's the way you've felt for a long time now.
Oof, still feeling that way.
Wow,
No,
wow.
that's so not true.
Okay, but did you know, Carmela, that this style of sparkling wine is about 200 years older than the champagne style?
Really?
Yeah, so put that in your brain box and impress your nerdy wine friends with it.
Okay.
Now, although the technique is ancient, the name Pét-Nat is a pretty new thing. In fact, the term was coined in the late 1990s by French winemaker Christian Chassaud in the Loire Valley. And the story is that after a bottle of his Vouvray, which is actually made from Chenin Blanc, accidentally re-fermented, he discovered that he liked it. He reclaimed the ancient technique and he gave it the name Pét-Nat.
Oh, wow. And that was in the 90s.
That was in the 90s.
Amazing.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some of the controversy with Pét-Nat, Carmela. What do you say?
Yes.
Because some people just don't like certain things about it and other more natural wines. And those things tend to fall into the buckets of 1, unpredictability and fragility. 2, flaws and funkiness. And 3, animosity towards natural wine in general.
So they don't like, I can see how some people would not like the look of it.
Yeah, I think the look of it, but there's even more to it than that.
Okay.
So let's start with unpredictability, which is in some ways what makes it exciting or interesting. Pét-Nat is, as we said, bottled during fermentation, so the final product is really hard to control by its very nature. This means that the quality and even the flavor of one bottle versus another bottle, even in the same year, can vary a ton. So we're used to different vintages of wines tasting different, but not different bottles from the same year. And sometimes these wine bottles, because so much pressure builds up, sometimes they can explode, and they tend not to last terribly long once they're open because the bubbles are considered a little bit fragile.
Why do they use those caps?
The crown caps, I think it's just a safe way and cheaper way to keep the fizz in there.
So it's not a look, like they're not going for a look necessarily?
That's a really good question.
I don't know, because you would think more sparkling wines would use that, just in general.
Totally, or more wines in general would use it, because it's not going to get corked. There's a lot of advantages to it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a look thing, more than anything. I'm thinking. Okay, let's talk about flaws and funkiness next. Now, most of the wine that we drink is carefully crafted and controlled, and it's purposely made to taste refined, or at least taste in a certain expected way. But Pét-Nats, because they're not fine, they're not filtered, and they stay in the bottle, all this dead yeast and stuff stays in the bottle, that means there's some funk to the smell and to the taste. So sometimes these wines are described as mousy. Mousy.
Why mousy?
Well, it sounds cute, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like maybe it's kind of mousy, but it really means they can smell and taste like stale popcorn, dog breath, or even mouse poop.
Ew.
Yeah, mouse poop.
Hence
the term mousy.
Weird. Okay.
And the reason why is it actually comes from a bacteria which has spoiled the wine and made it smell funky.
Oh.
Now, you can also get vinegar smells. You can even get sewage or barnyard smells. Because it's just so hard to control.
Right.
Some in the natural wine movement have done some marketing to reposition these flaws as features because it means the wine's more authentic or the wine's less intervened with or they don't add things like sulfites, but others feel it's just a way to get away with making crappy wine. And the last pushback on natural wine is a bit of a potpourri, but it's kind of just a general dislike for natural wine because it's generally considered unrefined, less professional, or it's just kind of jumping on the bandwagon of things that are popular.
Well, and you know, a lot of people appreciate the color of wine.
Yeah.
And the look of it. So I'm sure there's some people who are not super excited about having a cloudy glass of wine.
I think that's part of it. I think also part of it is what we said too, which is, you know, you want predictability. Oh, I know I'm going to like this wine. I know what it's going to taste like.
Right.
I know what to expect. But kind of the fun, and for some people, the not fun part of natural wines or Pét-Nat is that it's not very predictable.
No.
You don't know necessarily what you're going to get.
Right. And it's kind of rustic.
Yeah, that's right.
And we like it.
And we do like it. Now, we should be clear, not all Pét-Nat is natural wine. In fact, one of the wines that we're drinking today is filtered. So that's a thing. But it's just that Pét-Nat as a style has kind of been combined with natural grape growing or natural winemaking processes. And some people just think of it as kind of a dirty or lowbrow way of making wine. Some see it, though, as kind of cool. And some just don't like the fact that once something becomes trendy, like low carb or low fat or protein maxing, then others jump on the bandwagon.
Sure.
Right? So that's kind of it. I'll say for the record that we have tended to really like Pét-Nat.
Yeah.
And we think it's kind of fun and it's kind of exciting. I kind of feel the same way about orange wine, which is also very controversial. But we've tended to like them.
Yeah, we have. And it's not that we drink them a ton.
No.
But they're kind of fun.
I think they're very fun.
They're great gifts.
Yeah.
Because it can be kind of a little unusual. So
And pretty. I think you'll see the wines we have are kind of pretty too. Now, the majority of Pét-Nats are still produced in France, including some areas that I'd never heard of before, like Bougie, remember that name, and then other places like Jura, Savoie, Provence, etc. But it's also being made all over the world, like in Italy. So we interviewed Fausto Cellario a few weeks ago. He makes natural wines, and some of them are Pét-Nats. They're also making them in the U.S., they're making them in Spain, they're making them in Australia and South Africa, and in Eastern European countries like Slovenia and Georgia and Austria and even Latvia. And actually, one of my very favorite Pét-Nats actually is from Lambrusco. It's called Cantina Paltrineri Radice. It's actually a really nice Lambrusco. It's kind of dry or brut. It's really nice. Anyway, side note. And then in terms of the grapes that are used, it's all over the place. You'll find white wine grapes and red wine grapes. You'll find blends. You'll find single varietals. But the tendency is that you find lighter red grapes like Gamay and Pinot Noir and Cabernet Franc and Cinsault, and aromatic white wine grapes like Gewürztraminer and Riesling, as well as things like Chenin Blanc, Pinot Grigio, and Semillon. But that's enough information, Carmela. I think that's more than enough information.
I think so.
Let's talk about the wines that we're drinking today. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So as usual, the wines we've chosen for this episode are under $25 each, and I bought them both at a local little supermarket here in Seattle called Pete's Market. It's long had a small but really good wine selection.
Right.
So I just like going there.
It's kind of a cool spot, too.
It is a really cool spot. And these wines are definitely available if you look online, and Pét-Nat is becoming more and more common in general. So if you can't find these, you can certainly find other versions. And you just look for that crown cap. Looks like a bottle cap. And as always, go to your local wine shop and ask the owner to help you, and they'll be more than happy to give you a hand. So the first wine we're going to drink today is Domaine Lingot-Martin Pét-Nat Gueule de Gamay. That's a long name.
My.
And as you can tell, it's a Pét-Nat, and it's made from Gamay. And it's a grape which makes a lighter red wine, famous from the French winemaking area called Beaujolais. And we've said this before, but we are fans of Beaujolais, except for the version that you're most likely to see, which is Beaujolais Nouveau, which comes out around Thanksgiving. So don't drink that one. Drink the other ones.
Right.
This specific wine is from a wine region in France that we just talked about that I didn't know, called Bougie.
I was just going to say bougie because you said remember that.
Yeah, Bugey.
Okay.
And it's part of a slightly broader appellation called Bougie Cerdon, Cerdon, which again, I was not aware of. It kind of flies below the radar. It kind of sits at the foothills of the French Alps, kind of west of Switzerland and Italy, and just southeast of Burgundy and just east of Beaujolais. So there you go. And it turns out that this style of wine is what Bougie Cerdon is known for. Aromatic, lightly sparkling, low alcohol rosé wines made mainly from Gamay and sometimes also Poulsard. And it's also produced in the Pét-Nat or Méthode Ancestrale method. And one thing I read on the interwebs said that this wine is actually too dry to be officially called Bougie Cerdon, so it's technically known as a Vin du France, but it's only 10.5% alcohol.
Oh, wow.
So it's not a lot of alcohol. So I'm wondering if when they said dry, they're referring to the confusing sparkling wine definition of dry, which actually means a little sweet, as opposed to brut, which means dry. But anyway, on a side note for you trivia wine nerd buffs, Bougie Cerdon only received its AOC status in 2009.
Oh.
So it's pretty recent.
Right.
And there wasn't a ton of information on how this wine was made. I did find out that the winery, Domaine Lingot-Martin, has these Méthode Ancestrale wines as their trademark. After the fermentation is complete for these wines, they say the wine is carefully removed and filtered before being placed back in the bottle. Oh. So it's not going to be one of those cloudy, funky wines like we're used to with natural wines or Pét-Nat. But that's about it for this wine, so we're going to move on. The second wine we're going to drink is the 2024 Lubanzi Rainboat Pét-Nat. Yes, Rainboat, which is interesting because it has a vintage, and most sparkling wines don't have a vintage.
Oh, wow.
And this wine is made from 100% Sanso. So it's interesting that both of these wines are single varietals, that they're also made from red wine grapes because we're used to white wine grapes being put into sparkling wines. And they're not made from any of the classic French sparkling wine grapes like Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Now, we have had a wine from Lubanzi before, not so long ago in the What the F is Sanso episode, which is number 183 from this past September, and we liked it. You actually gave their wine an 8.
Oh, boy.
And I gave it a 7. And we found it fragrant and fruity.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and Lubanzi is from South Africa.
Oh,
so that's kind of
very
cool.
cool.
And I love this description of the Lubanzi winery. From the socially conscious and community-driven Lubanzi wines, the Rainboat Pét-Nat is a vibrant, artisanal, sparkling wine from the Swartland region of South Africa. The brand is Fair for Life certified, and a portion of its profits support the Pebbles Project, which is a non-profit that provides health and educational resources to families living on farms in South Africa. So that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Makes me feel good about drinking their wines. And for the winery, they say this wine is sourced from a tiny, organically farmed single vineyard in the heart of Swartland, that it's a cloudy, deep pink color, so you're going to see that. And it's made from, as I said, 100% Sanso. And they call it a beautiful, funky marvel. So that'll be kind of interesting too. But that's about all I could find out about these wines. So I think it's time to start drinking. What do you say?
Ready.
Okay, so if you out there in listening land, if you have a Pét-Nat or sparkling wine or anything of that nature, drink along with us, see if you taste the same things we do, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, we're back and we're ready to try our first wine. This is the Domaine Lingot-Martin Pét-Nat Gueule de Gamay. It's from Bougie, France.
It's so bougie.
It's so bougie. No year, non-vintage. $20.49 at Pete's Supermarket. 10.5% alcohol, so not very much alcohol. 100% Gamay. And wine enthusiasts gave it an 86. I cut that out, but she sneezed. I did the same thing when I first smelled it because the bubbles went right up our nose. Evavino had a 4.1, but before you smell it and cough again, let's talk about the color. What do you think about the color?
I just think it's so pretty.
It's really pretty.
I don't know if it's like, it's darker
pink.
than coral.
Yeah.
But it's just
pretty pink.
The whole thing is pretty. I really like the whole presentation, and I love the label.
Kind of a cute bottle.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun when it has that little crown cap and you just...
Something about it is just cute. And like I said,
it.
I do. And the color's just fun. It doesn't look real.
What does that mean? It looks fake? AI? Made by AI?
I mean, it could be.
Okay.
It could be. But it's just very pretty.
I like it
Lots
too.
of bubbles. It's calmed down, though. But boy, there were a lot of bubbles at first.
Yeah, there were a ton. It was frothy. Well, what are you smelling, if you dare to smell it?
Oh, I don't know if it's just because of the color, but I'm getting a little orange on it.
Are you?
Yeah.
I got a little, like, maraschino cherry.
Oh.
Is that how you say it? Maraschino?
I don't know.
And I'm getting a little citrus, also a little like strawberry, almost like a strawberry lemonade.
Right. I like that. I think so.
God, it's so fresh and fruity smelling.
Strawberry lemonade. I really think. I mean, it's kind of raspberry too. There's a touch of raspberry because there's a bit of like, not like tang, but there's a little bit, raspberries are so good. I've been eating a lot of raspberries.
You have been. I saw a little thing
there's
of
a lot of good
raspberries.
fiber in raspberries.
Okay,
People.
that's enough with the fiber.
So I like raspberries.
Fiber maxing.
Woo! So yeah, it definitely has that strawberry, raspberry with a hint. I just love the strawberry
citrus.
lemonade. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's taste it and see what we think.
Okay. Ooh.
Dangerous.
It's so nice.
Very dangerous.
It's dangerous, and you could be careful if you're out in the sun with this.
Oh my God.
You would just...
This is like a fruit punch.
Yeah.
It's
like a Capri Sun, but way better.
Way better.
Don't let your children get around this.
No. It's
they
like,
could almost mistaken it.
it's got a little bit of strawberry starburst,
Oh,
don't you
yeah,
think?
Yeah.
But a little bit of cherry too, that maraschino cherry.
And
But you know the cherry on top of a sundae, right?
Right. Of course I know. But I like Sundays. Okay. So the thing is that I could see some people like, this is just juice. Like, this is not
it's good.
very sophisticated.
It's not very sophisticated.
No, but
it's delicious.
But that's what sets it apart. Like, that's what makes it kind of, I mean, it doesn't have to be an event wine, but this is definitely like a summer fun. I mean, you could have it any time of year, but for some reason, it's really screaming summer to me. A picnic, a, barbecue by the beach. I think it's lovely.
I think it's nice too. It's sugary. I will say it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I am getting
Is
the
there a
sweetness.
lot? I know. Yeah. Let me see.
Well, it's only 10.5
yeah.
percent alcohol, so that often means that not all of the sugar has been fermented down.
It's definitely fruity. So it's
super
strawberry,
fruity.
raspberry.
Super fruity. Almost got a little bit. The fizziness is effervescent, almost pop rocks like.
Oh, that's fun.
Don't you think
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
strawberry pop rock?
Yep, I do. And that's really what I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's not like super complex.
No. And it's clean, like we said, they filtered it, so it's a pretty clean and clear wine too.
Yeah.
Not a lot of funkiness on this one
Not
at all.
all.
No. This is not. If you're expecting like a really like natural kind of
right.
funky wine, you're not. This is not it.
No. So if this is almost like pop music.
Okay.
You know what I
it's
mean?
It's just, you know what? Have fun with it. Don't be so
Exactly.
serious.
Right.
Get off your high horse.
Whoa!
Right?
And enjoy yourself.
Enjoy your life every once in a while.
I mean, not that you can't with just wine, like any
No,
old
you
wine,
get-
but there's something about this that should bring
fun.
up your serotonin.
Yes. You don't have to be aggro. You can be happy.
You don't have to be stuffy. I mean,
No.
that's the nice thing about some of these wines. It's just
Yeah.
pure fun.
That's right. What food might you pair? That's probably going to
Yeah.
be removed. But what food will you pair with this Domaine
Will I pair
Lingot-Martin?
with this?
Will you? Will
so
you?
many
Because you know we're going to keep
foods.
drinking it.
I mean, you could definitely do charcuterie. Like, this is
Yeah.
an appetizer, fun. Like a lot, like puff pastry with,
Yeah.
like cheese or like spinach.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Spinach.
But I do think this is a fun appetizer cocktail drink.
Yeah.
It's almost a cocktail.
It is very
Almost
cocktaily.
like a Cosmo.
It is it's almost like an Aperol spritz in some ways
Yeah.
without all the bitterness
Right.
of Aperol.
Right.
But it's really, I think it tends to be, you could have it with different types of foods, but, spicy foods would probably work well. Fried foods would work well. And I think you're right, charcuterie, like cheeses and some meats and those kinds of things. You're not going to have it with anything heavy.
No.
And you're not going to have it with like a steak. You could have it with some grilled chicken.
But I do find this, like, you can kick up an event a notch with this, actually.
Kick it up!
Whoa! I mean, like, what I'm saying is that, like, it feels a little, like, unsophisticated at first, but then it's like, this could be a fun cocktail
cares?
party for, like, a wedding shower, like a bridal shower.
Girls' night.
But, like, bring the men on, too.
Whoa.
They would enjoy
Whoa.
this. Like
Whoa.
a couple's shower.
Whoa.
This would be fun.
Wow.
Or remember those, they had all those parties for
Swingers
women?
party?
I mean, I guess.
No. What? You're not supposed to say, I guess.
Well, you
You're
look at
supposed to
me
say
like,
no.
go along with it. You were like,
No.
go along with it.
No, I didn't. I don't want you to go along
You
with
gave
it.
that look. Like,
No, I didn't give that look. Anyway.
okay, forget the swinger party.
What is
brought
going
it
on?
up.
I didn't think you were going to agree with it. You're usually like, oh my God.
Just trying a little, shock treatment.
Wow,
Keep you
it's
on your
working.
toes.
Anyway, let's keep going because I'm freaking out.
Okay, but anyway, I do like the idea of like a cocktail and appetizer party.
Yeah, agree. Okay, well, let's rate this wine.
Okay.
As a reminder on our rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't give half points. 7 and above means we're going to buy it. 4 and below means we're going to pour it down the sink. 5 or 6 means we're going to drink it and finish it. Thanks for serving it, but we're not going to buy it. And so what rating are you going to give this wine? I'm very curious.
It's really tough because like I could just easily probably say this is a 9.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, give it that if you want.
I mean, it's so...
Feel it,
again,
sister. She's not my sister.
Oh, man. But no, I mean, and again, some of it's just the vibe too. Like if
You
you're looking
like- you
for
like
something,
it.
if you're looking for
You're
something,
happy.
I am so happy. I mean, if you're looking for something fun, this is the wine for you.
This is how Carmela tries to convince herself. She kind of
Why?
keeps talking about it.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 9.
Wow, I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it.
Might not like this wine.
No, I mean, look, if you want a sophisticated champagne, this ain't your
Lots
wine.
of notes and lots of complexity.
Yeah, and if you think, oh, wine has to be this heavy California Cabernet Sauvignon, you're not going to like this wine.
No.
But you know what? If you like fun,
It's a little bit of a one-note wine.
but if you like fun,
Right.
if you like to enjoy yourself,
You want a vibe?
this is your wine. I like it. I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
I definitely buy it.
Too sweet?
It's a little sweet, and as you said, it's one note, but it's super nice. Yeah. Like I would drink the out of this wine.
I think it could be a problem. That's why it's
could
good.
be
It's
a problem.
10.5% alcohol.
Actually, you're right, because otherwise you drink too much of it, you're on your lips.
Right.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and we're going to try our next wine.
All right.
Okay, we're back. Carmela, during the break said like that wine was not a typical what you would think of like for a pet nap. But anyway,
Right.
this one
Well, if you're trying to give like if somebody a real pet nat
experience,
it probably wouldn't be that one.
although it might be the way to ease them in. Like, I like that one. Let's go to the next one. This is the Lubanzi Rainboat Pét-Nat. It's from Swartland, South Africa. It actually is a vintage 2024. It was $23.49 at Pete's Supermarket. 11.5% alcohol, 100% Sanso. No professional ratings or Vivino that I could find. But Carmela, let's talk about the color. It's orange.
Right. Well, it's almost like
Tang. It's like tang.
like tang, or like when you look at it in the bottle, though, it almost reminds me of like apple cider that hasn't been filtered.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
It looks brown almost. This is almost kind of brown.
And it actually has like on the bottom is the yeast. You can see the
Right.
funk
You
on
can
the bottom.
see it, yeah.
Looks a little bit like apple cider vinegar.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. But it's orange. It's like tang, or there was something else I was thinking of. Oh, when you do the emergency, kind of looks a little bit like emergency.
Oh, a little bit.
Let's start smelling. It's not as fizzy. It's not nearly as fizzy as the last wine. What are you smelling?
Oh my God, what are you smelling? I'm smelling.
it's funky.
Oh, but I'm smelling like a bunch of things.
It's funky. It is super funky.
Yeah, but it's almost like I'm getting a little bit of like
pea.
mustard.
Mustard. I'm getting a little bit of that barnyard, like a
pea?
little pea. Yeah, like urine.
Ooh.
Like urinal cake.
Well, see, and I don't really love it when the smell is so bizarre.
I like it.
Really?
I think it's fun.
There's something else on it, though. I can't put my finger. Almost like a stew. It's a little meaty.
You're meaty. You're getting some meatiness on
Yeah,
it. Little umami. You're getting a little umami, almost like it's a little salty.
Yeah.
Are you getting a little saltiness on it?
Yeah.
Let me smell it for a minute because I really want to kind of. It's got a little bit of turpentine, like a little bit of something like acidic on it. Mm-hmm. It's grassy. It's like herby. It's almost not very fruity. If it's fruity, it's like maybe a Granny Smith apple. Maybe. That's been left out in the sun too long.
It's almost like a prune, too, though.
Okay. I like that.
Prune or like, some... No.
Like a shriveled grape.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, yeah.
Like a grape that's been a little old. Mm-hmm. Like it's not quite
it's
a raisin.
Little bit off. Like it's not off. It definitely has this... something that some fruit that's like been extra dried. You know when you eat a nut and
I just went.
Yeah, I know you eat a nut and it's that off taste.
Yeah,
of
like
the
it's
nut,
like
and you kind of go, oh, it's not
like the oils went bad.
Yeah, and you just get one randomly, and you're just like, oh, should I finish it? I guess it's in my mouth. I have to finish it,
Yeah.
but it's like not very pleasant. It's a little bit like that.
So far, not a ringing endorsement.
No.
But I'm kind of enjoying it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm
okay.
just a dork.
Are you worried about tasting it? Like, should we be putting this in our body?
I'm not at all. I'm really curious. I think we should taste it.
Oh, okay. Bottoms up.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. That is a Pét-Nat, man.
I don't know. Really?
You think it's bad?
No, I don't think it's bad. I'm just not enjoying it. It's like mustard. It's like a dark stone ground mustard.
You're kind of right. It is mustardy. I'm getting like really, really tart apple. Like super duper tart apple that's like been dipped in mercury.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of metallic
how would you
on the
even
end.
know that?
I have eaten mercury.
Oh.
No, you shouldn't do that.
You
It's
should
bad
just,
for you.
yeah. Mm. We all have if you've eaten tuna fish. Only one can a week, right?
It's a lot. You know what? It's a lot. Like, I'm kind of enjoying it, but it's a lot. There is umami on this, like almost mushroomy.
Yep.
It's super funky.
It's actually probably something that I wouldn't finish. Not that it's a bad bottle of wine, but it's just something that I probably would be like, I'm really forcing this down.
Wow. You really don't like it.
I'm not so keen on it.
You're not. I'm getting a little bit of like melon, but like, you know, like super underripe melon or something.
Like the
or the rind.
The rind of it?
Yeah, the pith. That white part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like it. Okay, what food?
I'm not loving it.
You don't. It's fine. Do you give the last one a 9? This one, well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, but let's talk about food first.
You know what? The thing is, I do feel like some people will like this, like you.
I like it.
A cool experience.
I like it. Yeah. I don't love it, but I like it. What food would you have with this wine? Would you have food with it?
I'd have to have food with it.
Wow.
I just wouldn't. I'm just not digging it.
Okay, come on. This with like a funky cheese would be so good. Nuts and cheese.
Maybe that's what I would need. Something salty.
I think fried foods would be good, man.
Yeah.
I think, you know what?
I'm just not getting any fruit on it.
You're not. I know. And there's not a lot of fruit on it. I mean, there's some. I'm getting some, but not a ton. Almost like, you know what? I'm getting a little bit of like overripe pineapple.
Kind of that brown part that you see.
Like it's not, it's like it's gone bad.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I can get behind that though. I can kind of, that's what I mean. There's something a little off about it.
Well, this is part of the funkiness.
I know. But I've
bunch.
never really had a Pét-Nat like this before.
You haven't. I don't think you have.
No, have you?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I have. But again, like I think funky cheeses, I think meats, like smoked meats, like I think, you know, sometimes you have Asian food with like fish sauce, something really strong.
Yeah.
Like that. I think this would go really well with it.
I do think you would want an interesting meal with it, like something unusual, like you're saying, you know, an Asian dish that has some flavors that are a little unique too.
Remember when
you know what, like lemongrass, with this, you know, would be good.
Remember when we were in London and we had that pad thai and it was different?
Yeah.
It was different than American
pad thai. It was a little fishy.
It was a little fishy.
Yeah.
I think this would be great with it. But it's different. Like this is a different wine. Like if you don't want a funky, weird wine experience, like you would not like this wine.
Yeah.
This is not your like
what would my dad say about
he'd hate it.
Yeah.
I think he'd hate it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
He wouldn't like either of them really.
No, the first one would be too like
fluffy.
Immature for him.
Yeah.
And this one would be like, he just wouldn't be interested.
This is off.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so what rating are you going to give this wine?
Well, the thing is, I think it's supposed to taste this way. I think this is what they're maybe going for.
I kind of digging it.
I know. Well, I mean, that's why I don't want to like deter anybody.
No, but you got to give what you feel.
I'm not going to finish this.
It's important for the people at home to really understand what would Carmela, because some people rely on you, Carmela.
Oh my.
Some people are like every week they're like, what does Carmela think?
No.
Yes.
Oh my Lord. Okay. Well, I'm not going to finish this glass.
Are you pouring it down the sink?
Yeah, I'm not because I'm mad at it or I'm like, you guys screwed up. It's just I don't really love it. So I'm going to give it a 3.
Wow. I
mean, it could be a 4. Something like that.
What are you going to give it? Really?
I'm just not going to finish it. So maybe I should just give it a 4.
Okay. I'm giving it an 8.
Oh my God.
I like it. That's
insanity.
I like it. It's so weird. I like it.
Okay. See, and that our scores are really interesting because they really are based off of like a unique experience. Yeah. You're loving this strange
craziness,
uniqueness, and I'm like, just like, it's too weird.
You don't like it? Yeah, it's fun. I love it. You usually are really close in our ratings.
Look at that.
I love that we're so far apart. I love that. Love it. I mean, and the distance between your two ratings are like massive. I love it.
No,
you're
that's
discriminating.
weird.
You're discriminating.
Wow, I'm
in
sorry.
a good way. Discriminating in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah, not in a bad way. I didn't mean that in a bad way. Okay, which of these are you finishing tonight? I think you are definitely going for the Domaine Lingot.
Yes, please.
And I am going to drink this one. I like the Lubanzi.
Okay. I might get a stomachache if I have too much of
I
this.
think you might. Okay. In general, it's very difficult to talk about the taste profiles expected from a Pét-Nat, but from a sparkling Gamay, you might get high acidity, intense red fruit flavors like raspberry, cherry, and strawberry. We were definitely getting that. They're juicy, refreshing, low in tannins, violet, banana, earthy notes. We were definitely getting that.
I fully agree with all of that.
Now, sparkling Sanso, usually it's vibrant red fruit notes. We were not getting that. Sometimes presented as delicate. Common tasting notes include raspberry, strawberry, red currant, and cherry, with accents of rose petal, violet, white hibiscus, white pepper, and citrus pith. The only thing I could say is citrus pith.
Right.
That's about all.
Agree.
Okay, the Domaine lingo, the winery says hints of raspberry and alpine fruits. I don't even know what alpine fruits are, but I totally agree.
Wait, what is it? Alpine fruit?
It's probably like raspberries and, like berries that would be in the mountains.
Got it.
And just a hint of spice on the dry finish.
Okay.
And Wine Enthusiast says slightly dusty in character and showing some structure. This dry wine is crisp and has some bitterness. I didn't taste any bitterness in that
I felt like
wine.
it was very smooth.
And the Lubanzi, the winery, it was really hard to find any even reviews of it, but the winery says strawberry and candy floss on the nose. You're going to love this.
Strawberry?
No, not. Yeah, so I don't think there was strawberry. Candy floss, like cotton candy.
Oh, okay.
It's like cotton candy.
What?
Now listen to this. Taste reminiscent of wild strawberries, grapefruit, okay, and a splash of herby kombucha.
Okay.
Kombucha, it tastes like kombucha.
Yeah.
It's that kind of funkiness. I think it's not even a splash. I think it's heavy kombucha.
And I'm really not a huge kombucha person.
You're not. You're not. Okay, what's the verdict on Pét-Nat?
I love trying Pét-Nats. I love it. It's so much fun. I'm totally behind it. And I think that was really fun. And I would do more of this for sure.
100%. I think, don't be afraid of Pét-Nat.
No.
It's what you should have. I mean, like, you got to experiment. You got to try stuff. And this is, this would be going out on a limb for some of these. And I think that's good for especially if you're like curious about like, hey, I want to try different types of wines, different styles of wine, something really off the beaten path. I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a good way to stretch yourself. Okay, Carmela, it's time to head over to our news desk so we can cover our wine in the news this week. And this week, the news comes to us from our old friend, Frank Racioppi, who has the great podcast discovery newsletter called Earworthy. And so here we go with Wine in the News. Wine in the News this week. Our wine in the news this week comes from Smithsonian Magazine, and the article is entitled, "Scientists Say This 600-Year-Old Grapeseed is Genetically Identical to Modern Varieties Used to Make Pinot Noir." Kind of gave away the whole thing right there. And I have links to this.
You don't need to even read this article. You
we're
guys.
done. And cut. No, but I have links to this article in our show notes, but here's the setup. Researchers recently published a study in the journal Nature Communications where they sequenced the DNA. Don't they have anything else to do?
I was going to say,
They sequenced the DNA of 54 ancient grape seeds found at archaeological sites across France and Spain.
My.
And the seeds ranged in age from the Bronze Age, like 2300 BC, all the way up to the Middle Ages, around 1500 AD. And that is a span of 4,000 years of grape history.
Wow.
But the finding that got everyone's attention was one specific seed found in the latrine of a medieval hospital in northern France. And yes, I said a latrine.
Ooh.
Yeah, a turlet. And back then, just know that toilets weren't just places to relieve yourself. They were also trash pits, which is kind of gross as well. People would throw in food scraps, fruit, poop. Anyway.
Wow.
But it's actually a really great way to figure out what people were eating.
Okay.
There you go.
TMI.
So this seed sat in a medieval French toilet for 600 years. And when scientists pulled its DNA, and I hope they washed their hands afterwards and used gloves, they found that it was genetically identical to the Pinot Noir grapes that we grow today.
Weird.
But less poopy. And then Pinot Noir. So the Pinot Noir in your glass is, genetically speaking, the same grape that someone in the 15th century of France was eating and possibly drinking as wine.
And pooping.
Researchers are careful to point out that they can't say for certain whether these grapes were being used as for wine or just being eaten. But given that it's France,
Right.
come on. It's probably wine. Let's go. Come on. The study also confirmed something that winemakers have suspected from ancient texts, but couldn't prove, that vintners have been using clonal propagation, basically taking cuttings from vines and spreading them up and growing, like grafting and that kind of stuff for thousands and thousands of years. And what that means is that the Pinot Noir vine has essentially been photocopied generation after generation for centuries. The question the researchers cannot answer yet is whether the wine itself would have tasted the same. So we don't know that, because genetics can get you to the grape, but the wine, it's things like soil and climate. Climate's different now. Fermentation practices, like how did they do it? What yeast were they using? How warm was it when they were fermenting? All that kind of stuff. And all the other things that winemakers do along the way. So we know it's the same grape. We don't know if it was going to taste exactly like the same wine. Just because the same ingredients are used doesn't mean it's going to taste the same. Am I right, Carmela?
That is so true.
I mean, come on. But what is really cool about this story is not just the science, it's about human preference. So since about the 1400s, people in France have been eating or drinking or whatever. They've loved this grape for a really long time, and we're still enjoying it today. So that's kind of cool.
I love that.
So, Carmela, a question for you. While the wine may be similar today to what they were drinking 600 years ago, do you think the food we eat is similar at all? Especially since you and I think about wine and food so much together.
Oh, I bet it's pretty different.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dumb question. And cut.
I mean, we can dig into it, but I mean, I think it's probably pretty different. That was a long time ago.
It was even before we were married.
Oh my goodness.
That's how long ago was
Yep.
it? Okay. Was it? I said, was it? That's how long ago it was. Okay. It's been a little quiet for listener shout outs this week, Carmela. I mean, even Timmy didn't reach out this week.
Timmy.
I know. Where's Timmy been?
Well, he might have some other things going on. Then that's okay.
Maybe he's on spring break like everybody else seems to be. But we did get from Chris, a.k.a. Corkton, Connecticut, who gave us our tribe name last week. He did say he likes Favorita wine from Poderi Celario. And we've gotten a couple of really nice reviews on Apple Podcasts in the last few weeks. One from Bernie, one from Snowy Edge, and one from J.S. Craw. I'm just saying what they put their name as. 5 stars. They were awesome.
So nice.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. That's really awesome. We appreciate it.
Yes, love that.
And then some wines coming up in future episodes if you want to drink along with us. We're going to do German Riesling. We're going to do White Rioja. We're going to compare a highly rated low-cost Pinot Noir from Oregon to a high-cost or higher-cost Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley to see how they compare.
Love it.
And then we're going to do some wines from Lebanon. And now that the list is getting smaller, Carmela, I need to buy a few more wines. So just be ready for that. It's going to come through. Just wait. But thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And remember, we buy all of our own wine and we do all the writing and recording and editing to bring you a show every week because we love to do it. And our small little ask for you is that you please follow and subscribe to our podcast. And please also leave us a nice rating and review to help us grow listeners. And thank you so much to everybody who's been doing that. You can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at the Wine Pair Podcast. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. You can sign up for our email newsletter there. You can also visit our shop wine section to buy the wines that we rate as buys in each episode. And if you send me a note at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com because you missed our last newsletter or you want to get on the list, just send me a note and I will hand deliver that information into your email inbox. And we want to make content that you care about and you like, so send us a note or DM us. Give us some feedback. Let us know if there's wines you want us to try or winemaking areas of the world that you're curious about, and we will take care of it. Again, joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. But with that, we're going to sign off. So thank you once again. We'll see you next time. And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much.